Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome. It's the No1 podcast. I am your host, Jake Shannon. Instagram is having problems. What's up, Wesley? What's up, Jason? All Trades Ltd. And it keeps telling me pause to poor connection on Instagram. Yeah, as always, the way I communicate on here is through the chat. So if you guys can comment or whatever, that is the best way for me to know what you guys are experiencing. So hit me back. If you guys are able to see this on Instagram, let me know. I keep getting this warning that says that there's a poor connection and it's reconnecting. So let me know. Okay. What's up, Henry? Esquire 2000, MNFR 33, Chalito. What is up, people? All right, guys. So looks like we got 8 people. I mean, I don't even know how many people. We got like 10, 15 people on Instagram, but I have no idea if they could see me or not. I'll reboot them. Let's end now. Okay, end now. Discard live video. Let's try this again. If this don't go, to heck with Instagram. Sorry, guys. All right, here we go. So today, I wanted to talk to you guys about this idea of balance and high expectations. Okay. So, as martial artists, we're always talking about, you got to have balance, right? Well, yes and no, right? That's if you're defensively thinking. If you're offensively thinking, you're trying to create imbalance, right? Judo calls it kazushi, right? Y'all know that term. Hey, what's up, Midas the Dancer? Good to see you, man. Yeah. Is balance really all that it's cracked up to be, right? That is the question that I have for you guys. And it's kind of a broader philosophical question. So, you want to maintain your own balance, but you want to offset balance elsewhere, right? So in your attack, Jonathan, what is up, dude? Good to see you, man. Happy to see you. Stellar Steven. Hey, yeah, no. This is not pre-recorded, bro. I am live. Although Instagram is having a hell of a time today. I might have to just boot them. It is not working out for you guys on Instagram, so sorry. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end you guys and discard. Thanks for your patience, guys, while I try to I have to do all this myself right now until I get a staff. I got to get staff to do all this other crap for me. But yeah, so work-life balance, man. I don't subscribe to this idea of balance in life because I'm on the attack. Okay. So when you're being attacked, you need to find some sort of balance, of course. I mean, that is like a no-brainer, right? You need to be able to find your balance. But if you are, I'm going to try that. I'm persistent, man. I'm going to make this happen with these guys. So, yeah, man, Instagram is just, I don't know what the deal is with Instagram. It just never seems to work out with them. So, guys, I believe that when you are being destabilized, right? This is in grappling. This is in fighting. This is in business. You need to make sure that you have your balance while you're trying to put everybody else's balance that you're competing with, right? This is a principle in judo known as kazushi, right? So discard live video. Let's see if I can't do this. I can never figure out Apple, man. Do you guys like Apple? I don't really like Apple because it doesn't seem to work for me ever. I know, and it's like, oh, it's so easy. Oh my gosh. Like, it is not easy, guys. This thing never works for me. It's like never intuitive. Like, I just want to be able to turn my freaking iPad off and restart it. And it's never easy, dude. Never easy to do with Apple. And I know there's all these people who are like Apple evangelists and they love it and they're going to be all pissed off. But I am sorry. I cannot. Okay, shut down. Slide. Okay. Hopefully we get this going now. I appreciate your patience. So, um, I think if you want to succeed, you have to have a nuanced, a lot of these people like in personal development or whatever, Jonathan's all about the Samsung. Yeah, dude, I like Samsung way better, man. It's just, maybe it's just because I'm used to it, but balance is, and I do think that this holds generally philosophically, not just in fighting, right? I think that martial arts are a great metaphor for life, and I'm a philosophical guy, so you guys gotta bear with me. So balance. Everybody's like, oh, you got to have work-life balance, man. You got to be balanced with all this stuff. Dude, let me just tell you something, okay? So, for example, today, I've already gone and worked out. I've done a couple business deals, made a couple conference calls. I'm doing my podcast to reach out to all you guys. I'm going to jet over to Fan Fest or Comic-Con or whatever it's called here in Denver is today because my kids want to do it. And now some people would call that like, oh man, you actually do. You have work-life balance or whatever, okay? Let's see here. I'm just trying to get comments in. Steven, I'm on Clubhouse too, but new on that app. I work overnight and like hearing your journey. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it, man. Hope there's some sort of benefit to it. That's whether it's either entertaining, educational, or some more profound. That's really what I'm here to do. Okay, we're gonna try to get Instagram back in because I love Instagram. I do like Instagram, man. Instagram has been very good to me. So let's do this again. Let's bring them in. Boom, boom. I literally podcast 3 different Facebook pages, 2 different YouTubes, Clubhouse, Spotify. What else? Let's see if this worked. I tried to hit them all. Let's see here. Training is the only reason I've never snapped on someone at work. All right, dude, you might need to meditate a little bit too. But yeah, I mean, training is a meditation, right? Training is a form of meditation. I think people get really like, I don't know. I think life is a lot easier when you dig in and actually do these things. So I'm a huge fan of meditation. I started, this had to be 1992. So like 30 years ago, I started the Zen Society at the University of Colorado Boulder. It's still going to this day, which blows my mind. And because I was very into meditation, it helped me a lot. What's up, Instagram? Today we're talking about this idea of balance and high expectations. Okay, and what is their relationship? Okay, one of the things I opened with is that this idea of balance, especially this idea of like, oh, you got to have work-life balance, all this kind of stuff. Welcome to the #1 podcast, by the way. That you got to have this work-life balance. I think that's just such just a nice sounding platitude. I don't think it's really thought out that well, right? So if you're a martial artist, hopefully you're aware of this concept of off balancing or kazushi in judo. And if you are having a rough time, let's see what we got a comment. Stellar Steven had the chance to ask Giancarlo Esposito about meditation at convention. Nice, dude. Isn't that the Pollo Hermano guy or the Loco Pollo or whatever, the Breaking Bad chicken restaurateur? That's cool, man. That's interesting. He's a cool dude. I'm actually watching Breaking Bad with my kids right now. It's a trip. But balance, if you are on the defense, if you've been knocked back on your heels, let's say lockdown fucked you up like it did a ton of people that are in business for themselves, even if you're not in business for yourself, you have to try to stabilize, try to get your balance. Okay. What's up? Can't wait for next weekend in San Diego. What is up, dude? I can't wait either, man. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time. So if you're on the defense, you're not going to, Steven. Gus Fring. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's cool, man. Well, I'm going to a fan con today, so maybe I don't know if he'll be there, but that'd be cool. If he does, I'll tell him hi. Now, how the hell did I get all these off? There we go. Okay. Oh, we got somebody from Japan. I have no idea what you're saying, but I appreciate you saying it. Let's see. Quicksilver. R.I.P. Billy Robinson. Catch as catch can all day. I appreciate that, man. Yeah. I miss the guy. There's a guy that was a genius with regards to balance. So I think this platitude of like work-life balance, I think that's bullshit. I think it's very simple-minded. And I think that this is where martial arts and martial artists can inform people that, okay, listen, you want balance when as a fundamental thing, man. That's why we train, right? Because we live on a planet with gravity and you're in a tussle. You're going to wrestle. And so people are going to be trying to do kazushi. They're going to be trying to unbalance you. Oh, what's up? We got Chad George. What's up, bro? I love your Instagram, man. It's super good. Love all the inspirational stuff. Guys, go follow him. So if you are put back on your heels, if you are in a defensive posture, I believe, and this is what I was taught as a coach when I teach my athletes, that the first thing is defense, right? The very first thing is defense. And it's natural. You're going to learn it if you actually commit and seriously throw yourself into your training, because you're going to suck worse than the guys that have been there, and they're going to make you get your defense up. So it's going to be conditioning. Conditioning, by the way, is not just fitness. Conditioning is like the toughening of the skin, the recovery, the mental aspect where you push yourself through things. So that is going to start building up. Now, the great thing is conditioning builds up quickly if you're consistent with it. You could get in good condition if you really push hard. 3 to 6 weeks, you can be in really great condition if you push hard and you have a good coach and you have a good camp and that kind of thing. But balance is going to come from you throwing yourself in the mix. You're going to learn, hopefully. Otherwise, you're going to end up on the ground a lot. Okay. Now, so what's interesting is something like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu just says, fuck it, I'm going to the ground. And they just sit down. Okay. Okay. I mean, not something that I recommend, but it works for them. Okay. I believe that you need to work on your balance. Okay. To where it's natural. Then you need to start working on figuring out how to off balance your opponent or the task you're working on. How do you get to where you could start being the center of the merry-go-round, right? Remember that when we were kids? They're probably illegal now because they bubble wrap kids now, but like the merry-go-round, the kid who's in the middle, yeah, you get dizzy, but all the kids on the outside, dude, they're like holding on for dear life, right? So you want to be that guy in the middle, right? Oh, hey, what's up, Dominic? Dominic says, was running 15-minute miles 90 days ago, just ran. Yeah, dude, consistency. So pressure is a privilege. I'm going to say that again. Pressure is a privilege. And it's a privilege that you can give yourself. It's available to every person, not just the privileged. You want to be privileged? Put yourself under tremendous pressure. Okay? But, it turns diamonds into, or coal into diamonds, turns lemons into lemonade. Pressure is a privilege. So put yourself under that privilege. And if you can't do it yourself, that's when you hire a coach. Okay? Now, this is for grappling, for running, for business, for if you're a performer of some sort, anything. You need somebody to hold you to a higher standard. Okay? Because sometimes it's hard to hold ourselves to a higher standard. Right? Now, there's tricks to do this. All of this shit is mental, by the way. All of this shit is mental. Okay? Now, of course, there are some things that are more difficult to overcome than others, like injuries and things like that. But, I would argue, look at somebody like Kyle Maynard. Okay? That guy is a freaking stud. He's a beast. Had high expectations. He has no arms and legs and is a champion wrestler. Okay. Like mind blowing. Okay. So this idea of like having a balanced life is kind of a like ill-defined metaphor. What the fuck does that even mean, right? So if you want to win at whatever it is, it could be a competition, it could be a business, it could be whatever, it could be to win the heart of your somebody that you want to be with. Okay, you've got to push yourself. You've got to set high expectations to make it happen. And if you can't do that, you've got to do what it takes. So that might mean engaging with somebody to hold you accountable, right? Look at Weight Watchers. Okay? Weight Watchers. Do you know how Weight Watchers works? Weight Watchers is simply like an accountability group. And it works, and it's been around for years, and people drop all this weight and give all these testimonials about how their lives were changed because somebody held them to a higher standard. So what you're calling balance right now might be a cop-out. I'm just saying, like, you have to push yourself really, really hard. I've set myself some crazy, ridiculous goals. At least they sounded crazy and ridiculous at the beginning. Okay? So when I started this whole journey with, let's say, either business or scientific wrestling, and it's a business and a wrestling endeavor. So, they're kind of merged, and I think that's relevant for this audience. When I started this company years ago, it didn't exist. There was nothing, right? Like nobody actually could learn from Carl Gotch or Billy Robinson or Dick Cardinal or Wade Childs or, none of this was like really available. And so I said, man, I came up in 94 grappling, and this was before jiu-jitsu was everywhere. This is before the internet. This is like shit was still on VHS tape. Okay. And there was only a few instructionals out there and a few people crazy enough to roll with. And so I was just like hungry. I'm like, man, I love this. I love this. I mean, why do you guys feel now? That's how it was. I mean, I went to that UFC #2 in Denver in 1994, blew my mind, changed my whole life. Now, I thought I had a balanced life before, but now I had higher expectations. So what was it going to take for that balance to happen? You know what else requires balance? Okay. Spinning fucking plates. You ever seen those guys at the circus and they get like 15, 20 plates spinning? That's what you have to do. That's the kind of balance, not a cop-out. Challenge yourself, push yourself, fuck up a few times. How many plates do you think that guy broke? Right? How many plates do you think he broke trying to learn how to spin those like 25 plates at the same time and hold them on his chin and all this other weird shit that they do? Go watch one of those. Watch. Somebody tells you about like, oh man, you need to cool it and you need to chill out and you need to balance your life. Show them that. Be like, this is how I'm balancing my life. So fuck off, right? Like, don't tell me I know what I want to achieve. Because your expectations are not as high as mine. Don't pull me down. Okay. And this is the thing. This is one thing that I think Grant Cardone has really, really nailed psychologically, right? With this idea of like trying to do your best and have high expectations and balance and trying to succeed. He kind of breaks people into like 3 different groups. One, there's like your fans, the people who are going to support what you do. There's your haters. These are the people who hate you, right? Like they just give you heat. They fucking nothing is good enough. They talk shit. They just nitpick that, right? And then there's the naysayers or the complacent ones. And they're the ones that are like, oh, we love you how you are and all that. The most dangerous of those are the naysayers and the complacents because they're going to seduce you down to their level, right? The haters, man, that shit fires me up. I'm like, come on, dude, right? It's like the closer you get to the end of a video game, the more you get like bad guys being thrown at you. So I'm like, I must be doing something right. I'm getting close to my goal if all these fucking haters are coming out. The key is this. And now this is an idea from Nassim Taleb, the guy who wrote Anti-Fragile and Black Swan. I've been a fan of his for ages. I don't agree with him on everything. I don't agree with anybody on everything, but he has some really interesting ideas as well. And he has this idea that, if you're going to be an artist or an entrepreneur, you need to focus on your fans. The haters aren't going to go away, so you need to address them, or, they're going to try to knock you back on your heels. So you want to make sure that you have your empire defended and that you know how to do that. That's a whole other subject. And maybe I'll talk about haters and all that kind of stuff in another talk. But you need to focus on your fans. That's the province of an entrepreneur. That's the province of an artist, right? Those that focus on their haters are more like politicians. They're always pandering to the people that hate them, trying to make them happy. And you're never going to make a hater happy. You're not. That's by definition, they're a hater, right? So a lot of times, if I get engaged by a hater, I'll give you just a quick tip. I do my very best to try to answer their criticisms, but I adhere strictly to the rules of what's known as informal logic. Just look this up, informal logic, okay? This is like verbal judo in a way, right? There's an actual program called verbal judo. It's not. But what I'm saying is talking about Kazushi and having good strength and positioning and balance and off balancing your opponent. Informal fallacies are the foundation of modern forensic debate. Okay. So things like no ad hominem attacks and things of that nature. I will try to address my critic and I will try to say, hey, you're doing an ad hominem. Oh, this is an equivocation. This is, I will break down the fallacies that they are laying against me. And then I will see, is there a legitimate criticism or something that they have to offer? If that's the case, awesome. Then I will listen, I will adjust, I will change. But a lot of times what I find is when I apply these laws of informal logic, they're just a fucking hater. And there's nothing you can do about it, right? So at that point, I'm like, all right, dude, I've done my best. I'm out. Now, this does a couple things. This shows actually your fans that you're a reasonable person, meaning that, you're open to the idea that you could be wrong and you're trying to listen, but you're not going to put up with disrespect, belittling, just these fallacies like ad hominem and stuff, right? So this idea of they're trying to unbalance you, okay? So my whole point here is that I think that balance depends on the level at which you're operating. Okay. So it's very easy to be balanced if I'm just sitting on the ground. It's much harder to balance if I'm on a tight wire over the Grand Canyon or something like that, right? Or spinning a bunch of plates. So the higher the level you go, there's going to be some interplay with balance and off balancing either your opponent or the task that you're working on. Now, as I blabbed on, we've had a ton of comments here. Let's see here. Alexander, and I'm sorry, I just don't know if I could properly pronounce your last name. Do you believe Catch Can is going to go back underground outlaw in near future and everything go back to like it was in the 1800s? Private matches with bets. Maybe Vegas can make it legal today. I don't know, man. I mean, I think it's easy to sometimes forecast broad economic events. Like I wrote a book, Endonomics, back in 2011. I think that those prognostications have come true by and large. But dude, I never, ever could have expected anything like lockdowns that they turn the whole fucking planet off. So here's what I will say. I don't think Catch Can will ever go away. I do think that it is, at least it's my duty to try to get everybody to understand it, because I was given the privilege, the pressure from giants like Billy Robinson, Carl Gotch, to keep the integrity, to keep the interest, to maintain its relevance for today, right? And so thank goodness for the internet. That's made it like simple. So, I mean, that's how I'm reaching you today. So I think there's enough people that are interested and have had passion, and that I've lit the torch through my efforts. They may like me, they may not like me, but I lit the torch. They can't deny me. And I've been successful. My mission, by the way, let's get this straight. My mission is not to be liked. I don't give a fuck. The only people I care that like me are my wife, my kids, my family, and my friends. Okay. In this project, my mission is to get every man, woman, and child on earth involved with the sport of scientific wrestling, catch as catch can, as either a fan, athlete, coach, or a promoter, or all of the above. Okay. That's why I do things like coachingcatch.com. We're going to be in San Diego. We got a comment earlier. We're going to be in San Diego next weekend, 2-day camp. We're going to be back in Denver on the, I think, 23rd and 24th, day after my birthday. So these ideas, like, so let me give you some metaphors why I don't like the work-life balance metaphor very much. Because I have high expectations. Somebody may say like, oh, your life's not very balanced and blah, 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 you need to do more yoga or smoke some pot. Dude, I do all of that and I bust my fucking ass. Okay. I really don't smoke that much pot anymore. But I bust my ass, right? Like, so like I said, today I've already been working. I'm podcasting to outreach and do marketing and have you guys be aware of what I'm doing. And additionally, I'm going to, as soon as I pop off of this, I'm going to go do Fan Con, like Comic Con in Denver, whatever. I mean, it's called Fan Fest, I think. Going to go do that. So my kids are having a good time. Come back. It's 4th of July. I'm going to work all day tomorrow. I'm going to hit the gym tomorrow, probably do 4 hours. I do an intense workout. Like today I was doing Aerodyne bike in 130-degree sauna. Then I go and do yoga in the sauna. Then I lift weights. So to me, it's like, I think that this idea of balance is very ill-defined in our culture. And I think this is one thing where maybe martial arts can help out. Now, as to whether Catch as Catch Can is going to go underground, I think I've done a tremendous amount of outreach and promoting and training and getting people to understand it, and training not just with me, but with guys that are the best and people that know that I'm carrying on with that same fidelity and that same pressure, that same privilege, that I'm not too worried. So let's say it's made illegal again, right? Because at one time, what was called up and down fighting in Lancashire County in England, before catch actually became catch, like documented written, one of the progenitors, one of the forms that was like proto catch was called Lancashire up and down fighting. It was illegal. Didn't stop it. Guess what? Murder is illegal. Ain't stopping it. Guess what? Now abortion's illegal. Ain't going to stop it. Laws don't work. They don't. They just, you just are creating criminals, right? Like, so will it put a damper? Would it create a dark ages? Yes, of course. Okay. But there'll always be people practicing it, in my opinion, especially if I'm successful in transferring the enthusiasm and the passion and the importance of this canon of knowledge, right? So that's a long answer, but I hope that helps. Okay, let's go to Quicksilver. And sorry, Instagram, you guys can't see this. I've explained this a couple times on the show already. I have a streaming service that I use. Instagram's the only one that doesn't, so I have to broadcast separately to Instagram. Okay, Quicksilver. You become what you think about. Psycho-cybernetics. Yeah, 100%. Maxwell Maltz. If you think like a poor person, you'll become or stay poor. If you think like a rich person, your high expectations will make you grind. Okay, yes and no. Okay, because there's these. So psycho-cybernetics, NLP, personal development, EST, Landmark, all these fucking people, right? Okay. And the biggest one is right now, like The Secret. Okay, it's important to think big. It's important to visualize big. It's important to set huge goals. But they're not going to happen unless you have just as big actions. Tremendous amounts of effort. So as big as your goal is, okay? So like I want every man, woman, and this is one goal. I write my goals, okay? This is a trick Grant taught me, okay? I have my little book. Look at this. You guys might think I'm like Jack Torrance in The Shining, dude, but I don't really give a shit. Okay, look here. Right? These are me writing my goals twice a day. When I first wake up in the morning and when I first go to bed at night. Every day, same goals. Okay. Now, when I started, they were audacious, crazy. But as I do that, now I do that because if I write it in the morning, I remember and I don't get distracted. And so I'm like, okay, cool. I got to do my goals. By the end of the day, a lot of distractions come up. At the end of the day, I write my goals again. And I remember when I go to bed. So I do that every day. It keeps me focused. That way, I don't necessarily need a coach. I do have coaches. I do have mentors. I think everybody should have one because, and maybe multiple ones, because it collapses time. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. This is the difference, honestly, between science and magic, right? If you study the history of science, you know that magic preceded science. Alchemy preceded chemistry. Newton, motherfucker was a genius, invented classical physics, optics, calculus. Like this one dude, he wrote more on magical thinking and Bible interpretation than he did on any of those subjects. He was a magician. John Maynard Keynes actually called him the last magician. Okay. So the difference between science and magic was that magicians, it was occulted. That don't get caught up in stupid words. That just means they kept their shit secret. They didn't share. Science was open source. They started sharing notes and saying, well, you say this works, prove it. And that accelerated the rate of knowledge, right? So you have to find a mentor who has done these things and will share the information that will collapse the time. Okay. And you can prove and if you get with a mentor, you can see if they're full of shit or not, right? Based on the results you get. Okay. So it's just as important to you have to set massive goals, but those goals are going to require just a massive amount of action as big as the goal is. Okay. So I don't know. I hope that helps. I don't want you guys getting like stuck with fanciful thinking because you're going to just be disappointed. Okay. So let's see here. All right. I guess I'm getting a note that we got to go. Comic-Con started. Let me get Stellar Steven. Heavily interested in pro wrestling. What do you think are Karl Gotch and Luthez' best matches? Oh, man, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I know Karl was particularly proud of when he suplexed Andre the Giant. He was always like, I was the first one to suplex him because he was so big and heavy, and Karl was so strong. Let's see here. Steven. Those Newton comments resonated. Thanks, guys. All right. Well, listen, I got to run because I guess the Comic-Con is already starting, so we're late. So I'm going to roll out of here talking about being unbalanced. I appreciate you guys. If I can be of any service to you guys, remember, just DM me. I'm going to be in San Diego on the 9th and 10th, coachingcatch.com. It's super easy to remember. Go there. If you want to get involved with what I'm doing in terms of my mission, you believe in what I'm doing, you want to help out, I would love to have you on board. Scientificwrestler.com. If you just want to learn, man, go to scientificwrestling.com. I have so much stuff up there. Not just educational material, but great stuff like 75 plus hours of the UWFI matches in Japan where you had like Dan Severn, Kazushi Sakuraba, all those guys. And if I can help you with your business, I do have a pretty good resume. I will bend over backwards. I believe service is the number one way to help people. So I am here to help you. And I would love to. Again, that one's easy. It's just like the sign here, No1coaching.com, No1coaching.com. It takes you to my page. My coaching company is actually called Thales. That's a whole other story. He was a freaking brilliant guy. Definitely look him up. I appreciate all you guys on Instagram. Had a hard time getting you on today, but we finally made it work. And all you guys out there, I appreciate you. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. A safe 4th of July. I will be on the 4th of July. So I hope you guys, I can see you. And I will talk to you soon. Peace out.